So it sounds like you have had positive personal experiences
Mm.
with everything or the majority of the things that you've tried. Would you say they've been positive?
I'd say there's been some negatives as well, or I mean, not long term, fortunately for me, but certainly some really hard, uh, difficult, challenging lessons and insights that I won't go into here. But it's by no means, and this was that's such a hard learning for me, about understanding ayahuasca in particular. The idea of the hippie culture of the 1960s, pink elephants and fluffy bunnies is not where ayahuasca comes from. It's a long history of use in what is known as occult sorcery, black magic, dark magic, and ayahuasca in its traditional contexts throughout the Amazon can be seen as a force for both good and for harm. Wow. Not unlike the analogy of like nuclear energy. You can use nuclear energy for
Mm-hmm.
making bombs, or you can use it for nuclear medicine. Mm. So there's a sense, again, in the indigenous traditions that this is really powerful stuff, and it's not necessarily light. It can be dark, and so there's a lot of, I think, caution and understanding that people need to be applying to their pursuits in this area, in terms of recognizing that we're just sort of trying to learn. And, part of my whole enterprise in my research was flipping on its head the colonial assumption that indigenous peoples had everything sort of wrong and backward, and that white Europeans were going to come in and help them sort it out. I thought perhaps we need to flip that on its head and respect that indigenous peoples had things sorted out, and we should be learning from them. Mm. And probably in a whole number of domains, ecology and economy, but certainly in the area of psychoactive plant use. The real experts aren't in universities like myself. They're the practitioners who are following their ancestors' traditions for centuries.